What's up? That's right. What's up? It's your boy Krown Deon. Yes. Coming to you, man. I just really, obviously, we all kind of, everybody kind of, definitely, you know, other people died and other people passed. People poor, rich, young, old, healthy, unhealthy. But you know, sometimes when you lose a star, you know, some people take it real. You know, how that you kind of watch them. You know, when you hear, I'm really kind of like coming out first just saying rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. And not only Kobe, but his daughter, the other teammate, and the other teammate's mother and father that was on the plane as well, or the helicopter as well. I heard a lot of comments, and I've seen a lot of, I'm on Twitter a lot, and I've seen people act like other people not supposed to hurt, and not supposed to have pain for somebody. Oh, you didn't know that person, or you didn't even know this person. Look, you don't really have to know a person. I just wanted to say, man, you can hurt. You know, the same way the world was caught up and hurt when they lost Nipsey, whether you knew his music or not. What's up, Steve? That's another opinion I value a lot. So I'm glad you chimed in. I hope a lot of people chime in and get their opinions. Because what I said is we can have pain. You know, you don't like you have to definitely know this person. If you watch somebody play a sport for 20 years, you watch interviews, you can get personal with it. Right? And so I just thought a lot of the comments about whether you knew him or ever saw him play or not, whether you should hurt him or not. And I think it was idiotic. Anytime somebody that you watch or you feel like you're in touch with, the same way we felt in touch with Tupac, the same way we felt in touch with Biggie, the same way so many people felt in touch with Nipsey Hussle. I mean, from the other side of America, you know, people ain't full of that once you saw the story, it was awesome. Everybody make the same, and you felt embraced. You didn't have to be in LA to feel like you were part of that scene. So, you know, rest in peace to Kobe. Rest in peace to all 9 of the lives and the that was on the helicopter. And man, if you watch Kobe, you was a fan, or if you was a fan of somebody else who was Kobe's his enemies, you learned to love and respect Kobe. So you can grieve, and everybody who talks about that stuff, man, let it be to the side. Which brings me to this question. I wanted to say this. Ken Steve, when his fan loved him like Michael Jackson, amen. That's a comment from Ken, that's right. I wanted to say this because, let me ask you this. Now, the thing that I loved about this legacy, this is the beautiful thing about it. I remember when we lost, and I'm not knocking none of our previous people, but I remember how the world waited. And we all waited, and we was hoping. We knew they wanted to, you know, throw dirt on Michael anyway. We knew they already wanted more stuff to be bad about it. So it's like the world was on pause to see what was in his system. Everybody wanted to know what was in his system. That was already out there. The media put it out there as the first thing to hurry up and say, you know, whatever. Besides the other stuff, these are some more facts about Michael. All right. So Prince, they did the same thing with Prince. We waited, and when as soon as they found out what was in his blood system, boom. And so the beautiful thing about Whitney Houston, they did the same thing with Whitney Houston. Let me tell you I do own the rights to this music because it's all mine in the background. Which you heard a little bit earlier with some OG Dizzum on GettoGospel Radio. Man, okay, so with Whitney Houston, they did the same thing. It was when Whitney Houston died, it was like the world stayed on pause, but the media made sure you stayed on pause to see what was in our system. All right. The beautiful thing about Kobe is with this passing, that's one thing we didn't hear. No, that's one thing we didn't hear about what was in his system. What did he die from? Did he overdose on this or did he overdose on that? And I just thought that was beautiful. I'm glad they didn't have that to say. But the sad thing, which brings me to more of my point that I spoke with or that I talked to Ken Sneed about. I heard 2 black reporters. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't on the white one's mind, and I know somebody out there might tell me white people said it too, but what I'm saying is it was so painful to see. The first 2 times, I'm just being honest, I ain't heard nobody, no other reporter said something black. The first thing they said, well, he did have that 1 sex charge, a charge that was dismissed. Which brings me to a full circle. Okay, we talking about a charge that when Kobe fought from the beginning, he said he never denied having sex with the girl. He said it was consensual sex. And once he turned around and said, hey, how about I'm just going to see those charges away for a second. Now, he ended up having to pay a civil suit. Now, why did I say that? Because that brings me to a point. Why every time one of our black men are found innocent in the system, they still turn around and have to pay some type of civil suit? Now, I don't care how we feel. I don't care how we feel about O.J. Simpson. All right? O.J. Simpson was another man who was found innocent for the murder that he was charged with. But they turn around and they hit him with a civil suit. And they made him pay. But not only did they made him pay, that was something they was able to stick to him for the rest of his life. Because in some people's minds, once you pay the civil suit, then some people don't understand what it was paid for. So they feel like he was guilty. That's it. Oh yeah, he had to pay. So it was like that was something they would always be able to hold over Kobe. And that was something that Kobe had defeated. But as we see in his passing, they brought it up. And that's one of the few things that they can bring up. And so I wanted to know, to anybody watching, I see some smart, intelligent people watching. I want to know, is there a black man? Can you give me a black man? That according to American history, I'm not talking about what's in our hearts. We're not talking about that, because in our hearts and minds, no matter what they say, we hold some of our greatest in regards, great, period. Okay? But when it's according to America, or according to, I don't know, America, or the people that's supposed to be, where is there a, name me a black man or somebody, just tell me, because I've been trying to think of it all day. And every time I think of one, I think of something that the other argument has been, something that somebody will say back to you in an argument if they wanted to case an argument, something that you might hear the media say. All right, so let me kill this before anybody say Muhammad Ali. The first thing they would say, well, he was a war dodger. Now, Muhammad Ali, greatest athlete and one of the greatest men to ever live. I'm saying according to the argument that America's going to try to give you, well, his thing was that he was a war dodger and we sent him to prison to make sure we could say we sent him to prison. And so somebody, anybody, if you could think of a black man that will go down or has gone down with good rapport, and they will let him rest in peace with a good legacy without having those stripes or things or weights that they would hold or could hold over his head. And I'll wait. You know, I'll just kind of wait while I listen in the background. You're listening to Ghetto Gospel Radio. I had a great show last night on Revolutionary Road, Tan Talk 1340 with Bruce Wright. If y'all can download that, do so, because there's some great information on that. One black man, Cleo Kinsley, Kenneth Sneed, OK, LOL, Jackie Robinson. Nah, the brother said Jackie Robinson. Now, as I sit here, I'm gonna be honest with you. Jackie Robinson did a whole bunch for I'm gonna be honest. You give me the butt, because I actually wouldn't know what the butts would be, except for the simple little things that they would complain about. Yeah, it's still relevant. It's still relevant. He said it was years ago, but that's what I'm talking about. Even when you speak of, even if you say Martin Luther King, or even if we say Malcolm X, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying historically. So I say that to say, Ken Sneed, I think Jackie Robinson was probably a great name. I wish Bruce Wright would chime in, because he would probably tell me some of the historical things that they could hold, that the arguments that they tried to hold against him, because I know they're there, but I don't really like to speak ignorantly. So right now I'm gonna say Ken Sneed has given me one answer that I didn't think about today, and that's Jackie Robinson. But we know according to the movie, okay, so I'm gonna get off that until somebody probably give me something. Bill Russell, I love it. Ken is on this thing. Oh, Ken Sneed. You know, I need to say this. This is Maher's best salesman. I got my car from Maher Chevrolet. He also is the owner and dealer at St. Pete Sneed Business. That's the car dealership, St. Pete Sneed Business. And I'm really waiting on some other names. I need some help. Ken, the only one on the ball tonight. The brother said Bill Russell and Jackie Robinson. Now, I can't really speak on those guys because I was probably thinking too hard in a revolutionary sense. And I'm glad you shook me out of that thought, because great men don't all have to be revolutionary. And so I probably thought a little square-minded. And believe me, I'm happy to hear these names. And I probably, knowing me, I go back and do some research and be calling you up later. Tat, 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 tat. Oh, I found this. So right now we got Jackie Robinson, somebody said, and we got Bill Russell. I kind of maybe I hurt people when I kind of hit Muhammad Ali. I probably shouldn't have said that, because I know somebody would have probably said Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest men and athletes to ever walk the planet, and has done more for actually humanity. The stance he made. Why go over there and fight some people who ain't never had a problem with us? Why join a fight that's that had nothing to do with us? They wasn't our enemies. As a matter of fact, they were going through the same things that we was going through. So Muhammad Ali made a great stance. Unfortunately, it's a stance that not unfortunately, but according to the United States, it's a stance that they'll probably hold and try to have that argument with those of us who hold him in much higher regard. And so I didn't get a lot of responses on that. I appreciate Ken Sneed with Bill Russell and Jackie Robinson. But now that brings me to point number one. 56 million people quarantined. Now, 56 million people quarantined. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. How many people do we have in the state of Florida? Can somebody please tell me that? I can tell you this much. We don't have 56 million people in the state of Florida. We have about 28, maybe 29 million people in the state of Florida. But it's sad that there are few and far between. Great men have flaws. Wow. Yeah. You are so right, cuz Mr. Ken Sneed. But it's the small things, like you say, great men have flaws. Without those flaws, they wouldn't be great. Because something would go to their head and tell them they are perfect. So you are 100% right. Yes, what's up, Ronnie? We love you. You are 100% right. Great men have flaws. And it's sad that these are the small flaws. I'm sitting here and I'm actually wondering. I'm saying to myself, you can judge somebody on how they ran the country or not. Now I'm saying that for a reason. Before anybody think I'm talking about Mr. Trump. So you can judge somebody about how they might run the country, or how they ran the country, or how they did in their time. What words will they say about Obama? You know what I mean? Like, okay, I ran and I succeeded as the first black, according to the United States, African American to run, succeed, and win. All right. And so a lot of people might knock what he did or didn't do. But is that enough to judge him on his character and those things? They wouldn't be able to hold. That's not enough to hold against somebody, as they would to say, well, Kobe had this one little incident here that caused him a silver suit, so that wouldn't even qualify. So but we're talking about the coronavirus, and I remember, if my sister watching, I thank God, but I remember when our nephew TJ, if you're watching, I salute to all our fighters out there, and I pray for y'all safety. And so, what's up, sis? Yeah, you and Kesey. What's up? And so I remember, to my nephew. Now I remember he got stationed. He was somewhere over there in one of those, areas. I would say that Beijing, China, where a lot of this is going on. And so we're talking about 56 million people quarantined. I'm talking about, walking around like this. Can't leave your doors. Can't leave your 56 million. Straight isolated, quarantined, locked in. You can't leave the city. You can't come in the city. I'm talking about checking your eyeballs. I'm saying all of that for a reason. This is the stuff that we saw on TV. This is the stuff that we've been seeing on movies and thinking it's a joke. Do anybody remember 1200? Was it called 1200? No, it was called 20. It was something about the year that was coming in, maybe 2024, whatever that year was when they made the big ship. And the big ship was supposed to take all the people away. And remember, only certain people qualified to get on the ship. They had to check the eyeballs and all of that there. Now, that's what we're dealing with in China right now. They are flying a plane. The United States is sending a plane to China. You better get on this plane. They say you better get on this plane. 56 million people quarantined, over 5,000 actual cases, and over 100 deaths. People dead. And 5 of those cases have come to the United States. Now, I thank God. I remember we prayed when TJ got moved from one of those areas, this area that we're speaking about. Yes, sir. Remember I do. The Chinese bird flu, and the numbers was way lower than that yesterday. It was only 26. That's important. That's the important fact that OG just said. The numbers was way lower than that yesterday. I took notes, so he's 100% right. Hey, and so he's saying, and so right, out of how fast these numbers are rising, some of these deaths, people travel to China all the time. It's a beautiful place to go. I've never been there myself, but I'm just saying it's one of the major places. Look at the growth rate over the last 10, 20 years. So, of course, Asia is one of the beautiful places to go. But I'm told, and it has been reported, that this is coming from people eating raw animals and selling exotic animals and doing all kind of stuff with exotic animals. And so now this is something that is easily spread. We have about 5 cases in the United States. So I say that to say this. If you have any travel plans and you haven't heard anything about it, if you've been asleep for a long, long time or high, and you just missed it, there's about 56 million people locked in, and they can't move. They are blocked in. The United States is giving 1 or 2 planes to fly them out of there. This will be the last chance to get out of there until it's fixed. And according to the United States, it's going to take them a couple of months to even get a grip on it and find out, because they have to study this with the CDC. We have to find out by testing and doing all of this crazy stuff. So they don't even know how they don't even know how it is. As Ken said, thank you for your point, Ken Sneed. What's up, Denise, my niece? He said, do we remember the bird flu? Yes. I think the bird flu was more responsible for, besides the influenza itself, the bird flu was responsible for, 14 million deaths, maybe? A whole bunch of deaths. I mean, a whole bunch. When you talking about 56 million people quarantined, that's more people that's in Florida. That means, just imagine them locking down Florida and Georgia, since I know Florida got more people than Georgia. Imagine them locking down Florida and Georgia, telling the rest of the United States, they got it. Don't they got that thing down there. That's sad. Yeah. That's a lot of people, and for those with travel plans, or those that have loved ones over there or know somebody going over there, be careful with that. Be careful if you're around somebody who went, and man, let somebody know what's going on, man. Be aware with the thing. Ken Steve, humans bioengineering viruses. Where did the virus come from? Well, what they say is the virus came from exotic animals. Not only exotic animals, but eating these exotic animals, and not just eating the exotic animals, but eating some of these exotic animals raw or half done. And so, man, that brings us to think about. I was just talking to the sister I can't really call her name right now, but she's doing wonderful things. I want to give a shout out to St. Pete Cares because she's doing wonderful things, and she has hey Kathy, Siobhan, thank you for chiming in and supporting. So it's a AIDS Awareness Month. For those who don't know, if you're in Pinellas County, let me get my little folder out. Excuse me one second. You know, this is amazing because we're talking about St. Pete, and we're not just talking about St. Pete. And we're not just talking about St. Pete. We're talking about just certain zip codes. And I'm told that 33705 ain't putting nobody out there in particular. I'm not saying no names, but I'm just saying according to the Pinellas Health Department. HIV trends from 2008 to 2018. 49, I'm gonna just say 5,000 people, and we're not even talking about 2019. We're just talking about 5,000 people infected. 87% of those infections are males. Now, I mean, you know, I'm a single man, so I don't want to scare off none of the sisters. I really don't, but it's like really, really being serious. That's eye awakening. That is serious. And when I learned these numbers, I thank God for these sisters at the health department. They came down and shared this on the Hulu News, and it's not just a one time thing. You know, they're continuing to do it. And like I said, this is she has a group called St. Pete Cares. So I want to give a shout out to St. Pete Cares and anybody in the burg that can follow that and support that. Try to find out. Watch out. Watch that movie Outbreak. Yeah. Anybody who remember that movie Outbreak, that's right. That's what that quarantine is probably looking like right now. Listen, 87% of the cases of HIV in this county are men. And then we wonder why our women are, you know, it's a lot of things we wonder about what's going on. You know, some of them don't even want us no more. You know, it's a lot of because of things like this, and some of them might be aware of numbers like this. So my brothers, my fellas, we got to be aware. We got to speak to each other, and we got to be aware, man. And we got to fix some of these problems. And the best way to fix it, definitely, is awareness. So let me get back to it. These are new HIV infections. My bad. 87% are men. 42% of the new cases are black men. So you know, that's half. But when you think about the fact that we are only 14% of the country, and I said the country, I know somebody might. We dealing with St. Pete, but since I don't know the number, I wish somebody probably could possibly come in and tell me. But I don't know the percentage of black men in St. Pete. So if anybody could possibly look that up and tell me, I could put it out there. So that's what we're here for. Everybody. Well, anybody on this feed, we're here together and we're putting this information out there. And so if you could tell me what the percentage of black men in the city of St. Pete, that would be helpful. So we talk about 42%, 87% are men, and 42% of those new cases. We're talking about the old cases. We're talking about the new cases where they might not even know. You know, we're talking about new cases where people still might be in a denial zone to say, she gave it to me or he gave it to me. So fuck it. You know, we talking about people that's possibly still in that state because I think people get arrested for it. They just had a guy arrested for going all over America doing it. And so and God, thanks be to God, you know, some people come out of that phase and so African Americans are 6.9 times more likely infected than white people. It's increased 17% since 2017. So that means in the last 2 years, the rate for black men, which is already 7 times more likely than white men, went up 17%. And I'm told this was a very consolidated study. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So now, Kathy Siobhan Wright has given me some information. She said that black men are 21%, 21.5, which if we all went to school, America, according to the American system, that will be about 22%. 22% of the black men in this county or St. Petersburg is Kiki is black men, and that's a small percentage. So for 87% of men to black men to catch it, or males to catch it, and 42%, a little bit less than half. We'll just call it, just go half, and half of those to be black men. That's very alarming. All right, and Ken Sneed is giving us. He say, I think the numbers are skewed because St. Pete is one of the LGBTQ capitals in this country. Now, you know what? I thought that, but I don't know, because these numbers in that group, hey, love you, and tell my grandbaby I love her. In that group, and let her see this. My granddaughter. That's keyword, granddaughter, right? And so the reason why I say that, cuz Ken, is you might be right. I'm just saying, I don't know. I actually remember this conversation, and they brought that up. The sisters brought it up from the health department and the brother, and they actually dealt with that specifically. So I'm gonna say, I think based on that, there she is, Charlene. There she goes, Charlene. I have a comment from a person that is saying that has probably asked and said, are the numbers possibly skewed because of St. Pete being high in a high gay community? So, and I know this is the sister, Charlene Emanuel's Swain. And if anybody see her doing anything according to this stuff, this awareness, please support it, get behind it, because she's coming with a lot of serious information straight from the health department. Okay. And so these aren't skewed numbers. And when you know when you do it for a living, it becomes kind of like second nature. If anybody want to call me, you can. I do have a phone line because I'm actually broadcasting from Ghetto Gospel Radio. Shout out to Ghetto Gospel Radio, by the way. So that number is 727-226-5258. I really would appreciate it if Charlene would call and give us some of that information live on the air or live in the feed, because that's alarming numbers. And I'm pretty sure that she could possibly give us a little bit more direct insight according to and kind of answer the question of what Ken was saying. Ken Sneed asked about. How you doing, sister? According to, could you call us at 727-226-5258? If not, according to some of the numbers that you gave us on the HIV crisis in consolidated neighborhoods and areas, unless you survey every person, this comes from Charlene Emanuel Swain, unless you survey every person in Pinellas County to ask if they are a part of that LGBTQ community, then that would be then that would be hard to assess. All right, that's a fair statement, and that's a good thing about it. That's why I say it's good to talk to her and have her input. 727-226-5258. 727-226-5258. All right, how you doing, Eugene Harrison? That's a brother I met, brother I traveled with to Virginia, doing Fight for 15. See, it's important that people that's used to standing up and fighting for something chime in and give their opinion, because these are people that are normally used to studying what's really going on in the world, and they're not just fed and told. How you doing? Hi. So, Ken Sneed, we have, is this Charlene? I want to ask first. Thank you. All right, so I want to make sure. I wanted to say his question again. And first, I want to say, I want you to probably give an introduction. Just say who you are, and why it's important, why I thought it was important that you come on, who you are, what you represent, and why you qualified, and why people like me will definitely need to hear and want to hear from people like you.
Was in the middle of the ghetto. Our house was in the middle of the ghetto.
Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 second, Charlene. Hold on 1 second. Now, see, I kind of remember, as I said, this is her job, and so it's important to listen. And this is where I really, since I kind of know where she's going already, I want people to really listen to what she's saying. That's the other sister, Chandra Allison. How are you doing? St. Pete Cares, as I spoke about earlier. Support that if you can, as well as anything that I said that you see the sister Charlene involved in. So please listen up, and there you go. Please go continue, Charlene, please. Right. Yes.
HIV in 2017. Well, when we turned around in 2018, 182, that same exact number of new cases were diagnosed with HIV. So it's really easy if you're just looking at those numbers.
Right.
Don't you want to sound rich?
And if I get the chance,
thank God for deeper looks.
I really should. And if I get the chance to do it twice, I really could. And if you get the chance to live this life, you blessed for good. Don't second guess it. And some niggas ain't make it out of my hood. The world is in the tragedy. It's feeling like a slumber. It's getting hard to really even care for each other. Gotta make the plays. Got the kids in the case. Steady trying to scrape it up and put it down on the next plate. Well, if it come out.
Oh, you know how it goes. Yes. Spawn, baby. C-Los.
Did you say 75? Excuse me, did you say 75%? 35. Okay.
Sound gallery. Fight for 15. The stage started out at one. Now the same worldwide. We gotta fight for 15, y'all. Fight for 15. That's what I believe. We got a right to self-determination. I agree. So say it loud and proud.
Right.
We ain't turning down. Fair wages for our work, then we want it now. Fight for 15. That's what I believe. We got a right to self-determination. I agree. So say it loud and proud. We ain't turning down. Fair wages for our work, then we want it now. Tell me what's the price. of the minimum slave. Who did I say that? I meant to say minimum wage. Minimum wage is no longer needed. With the crabs in the bucket, we should all see it. We should be out here. We should be out pissed. We should be thinking this affects our whole environment. We got to admit, no labor's free or cheap. But if we ain't working where we at out in the streets, crime rate sky high. Too many fighting to survive. Too many just get by. They try to justify fund the police department.
Right.
When all they gotta do is treat us like the least department.
Right.
Instead to keep the profits.
Right. Definitely. I can say, I mean, for those who need that a little bit of perspective on that, I'm in 33701 and I'm by Bartlett Park and 9th Street. I was just in 33705 if you over here by Lakewood because right? Is that right? Is that correct? Could you say particularly, do you know the breakdown of those particular areas? Okay, that's cool. Okay. Right. And that's what Ken Sneed was pointing to. Yep. We got to get it straight. 15. We ain't found 9. We're tired of working overtime for an extra dime. 15. Charles. I got my own mouth to feed and a couple kids. Not at 11 and 12 neither. Real quick, did you say 33711? Just real quick, was 33711 one of those? All right. And Charles Park is 33711. So I just wanted to say that because somebody just made a comment saying that was Charles Park. And, you know, for those that don't know, all right. Now, what was the other point you was bringing to us? Fight for 15. That's what I believe. That's right. We got a right to self-determination. I agree. Right. So say it loud and proud. Right. Turn it down. Fair wages for our work till we want it now. Fight for 15. That's what I believe. We got a right to self-determination. I agree. So say it loud and proud. We ain't turn it down. Fair wages for our work till we want it now. It's your boy Krown Deon, Reverb Nation. We want it now. Low wage workers. Facebook, hit me up. Sound Gallery. We want it. That's right. That's right. Wow. 15. Worldwide. And we want it now. It's real. That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's most definitely true.
That's right. That's why this is so important. And Kenneth's next Thursday. Yes, I am. Indeed. Awareness. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And we got other artists on there. I probably don't know them by name myself, but Chandra does. And so we want to give a shout out to him. There you go. Okay. We should be out here. Right. We should be out pissed. We should be thinking this affects our whole environment. And OG Dizzum will be there. It's gonna be a beautiful night. Amen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kenneth Sneed wanted to give a big thanks to you, sister. He says he is listening and he has learned a lot tonight. Thank you, Eugene Harrison. We appreciate your work that you're doing and continue to do. And man, I look forward to continuing to work with Chandra and also St. Pete, or is it the Bird Cares? I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher that. I did it a couple of times, and the sister then got typed in the name, so I'm gonna scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. The bird cares. And it says, let me see, the first National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day was marked in 1999 as a grassroots education effort to raise awareness about HIV and AIDS prevention, care, and treatment in communities of color. We got to support that. I think the number one issue, one of the main things that she said that we need to really be on point with is awareness. You know, we can't be sleeping on it and we can't act like it ain't here. Y'all just heard devastating numbers. I'm gonna end this call, Sandra. I appreciate you for calling in, and I appreciate you for giving us that information. And I just called you Sandra, but Charlene, I appreciate you for calling in, Charlene, and I appreciate the numbers. I appreciate your work and your dedication to the work. And we still talking. So any information you got for us and support, we appreciate it. This Ghetto Gospel Radio. Krown Deon, we going live. You just heard Charlene speaking. She works in the health department, so her numbers are accurate. That is what she does in the community as an everyday job. So it's not like this is something that she just reading and guessing like somebody like myself. I have to read up on information. I don't mind doing that. But I like it much better. Like she said, numbers, and like Ken kind of pointed to, numbers can be skewed easy. So I think we can see in the news today that we always get caught up with whether we have to guess if something is fake news or not now. And I think that's sad. And so when you get a professional, somebody who have to deal with people every day, who's in contact with this infection or with other infections, it's probably good to take their advice, good to take their stats and things that they study. And so that was one of the reasons why I asked for information. Obviously, she was already supporting, and I appreciate it. That's how she heard it, because I didn't call her before that. So that's how you know a community of supporters, you know. And so I appreciate that. And that's what we have to do together. This might be live on my feed, but we as a community have to speak. And when we speak with one voice, that's how we get shit done, man. And so, we talked about Kobe. We talked about, I heard Ken Sneed say he gave us two black men that I haven't really heard anybody challenge yet. That was Jackie Robinson and Bill Russell. And so those two men have been unchallenged. So I'm gonna give you a thumbs up. That's gonna be a lot of car sales for you tomorrow. If you need a car, St. Pete Sneed Business. That's a car business that you need to be looking up, trying to find out. He is on Facebook. He has a Facebook page. He sold me my car. I love it, brand new, nice, and he made sure I wasn't gonna lose nothing. He made sure I knew everything I needed to know. And just check him out. If you're looking for a car, holler at Ken Sneed, St. Pete Sneed Business. And if you're looking for some awareness, AIDS awareness, I just told you some sisters that you could be in touch with. They have a page on Facebook. The Bird Cares. They have all kind of things full of awareness coming to you. I think the numbers that you heard, if you have a daughter, sister, even if a father or a brother, it doesn't matter what you are. It doesn't even matter your color. That should be alarming to you. And that means you should be part of the Bird Cares and care a little bit. And so, and we talked about the coronavirus. I think that's alarming when we see stuff that we've been watching on TV for years and years and years start coming like right to your face when people have to put masks on, and 56 million. I think you heard Charlene say it was about 1 million people in St. Pete. Okay, we talking about 56 million people quarantined, and some of those cases have already come to the United States. And if you know, like me, a lot of times, if they say it's 5, it might be 10 or 20. They try to keep us unaware of a lot of stuff for a long time. It ain't nowhere in the world all of those people just popped up and got not HIV, but and got this virus. Because like Dino said, yesterday the numbers was like way lower. And so this is something to be reckoned with. And we need to definitely be careful. If it's something that spread as easy as the flu, we need to be careful and aware of that virus. And so, and for the local artists in St. Pete, when I'm doing When I got my hours on Ghetto Gospel Radio, I love music. I love local artists. I believe in everybody who want to be a star and want to be heard. I think if you're an artist, the main thing about being an artist is not to blow up. It's definitely more unheard or unsigned or underground artist than it is commercial art or popular art. And so for the world of artists that feel like you're unsigned, unheard, and I do my time at on the radio station, no matter where I do it from. I can do it from my iPhone if I wanted to. But when I do my time, I like to really feature local artists and unsigned artists. And if you just want to ride in your car and hear you, or hear your partner, or hear somebody you know, it's a good feeling, man, because I do it all the time with local artists. So I'm a big supporter of that. Get your music to me. I'm featuring it. I'm featuring on websites and other platforms such as that. So that's Ghetto Gospel Radio. I appreciate those that came in. Like we said, February 6th. If I can remember it by heart, I want to say 1080 62nd Avenue South in St. Petersburg at 7 o'clock. The bird cares. That sister who you just heard speaking, and a couple of other just beautiful sisters. Chandra Allison also, I think she's those sisters are doing it together. The people who are supporting them are also doing it together. All of us, if we can support that, then we will be doing it all together. So February 6th, I'm almost positive. If you go to her page, it's there. But I'm almost positive the address is 1080 62nd Avenue South. It's going to be a beautiful event. It is about the Bird Cares and LeBron James. I want to say this. It's about the Bird Cares. AIDS Aware this month, but don't just be aware this month. Be aware every day of your life. It's just like Black History Month, as you heard me say last time. Don't be aware of your history just in February. All right? And we teach our kids, bring me a Black important person once a month. Let's challenge our children to do that once a month. They got 30 days. And if they can do that, you should actually reward them. You know what I mean? 30 days. Challenge that child to give you somebody important once a month. And that person should actually possibly be a person of color. Or maybe it's somebody who maybe not be a person of color. Solidarity. Who is very influential in your fight. That is a challenge that you should feel comfortable doing, giving to your kids. I appreciate Slick for coming in last time, saying how he would support that. Now, man, one thing I wanted to say. This is amazing. Then I'm gonna get out of here. LeBron James has become one of my favorite. Simply, he really has. I don't know why. That's my partner. Yes. Saying I don't know why Ken mentioned LeBron James, but I'll just say for myself. And that might be shocking because I was a big Kobe guy. And so you know how that go. If you love Whitney Houston, you wasn't so high on Mariah Carey. You know what I mean? And so you weren't so high on Mariah Carey if you love Whitney, and then there was other couple of little people that started coming up trying to, getting a little race, and you was like, oh no, Whitney. And so, oh man, Toni Braxton, she came, it was rough. Woo. And so, I'm a Kobe. So LeBron came along, and you know how that goes. But the thing is, LeBron has become my favorite. LeBron does so much off the court. It is amazing. Like Kobe, and the support and the things that I learned about what LeBron said over the last couple of days about Kobe has been amazing. The other thing is, right, none at all. The other thing was, I don't know for anybody that know, Kobe, this is how God works. Kobe and his daughter actually went to church to service that morning. Kobe and his daughter actually went to service that morning. I got you, cuz. I got you, Kenneth Sneed. Now, Kobe and his daughter actually went to service. I don't know, Catholic service, Christian service, it don't matter. The people on the news making a big deal out of what kind of service. But my point is, Was this a Sunday morning? I'm not trying to be funny. I wanted to know. Was it Sunday or Saturday? Okay, all right, but nevertheless, we all wake up on Sunday morning. Sometimes we don't feel like going, and so even for those that go, and so but Kobe and his daughter before the helicopter crash went to service, and I thought that was telling, and man. Then LeBron James, I'm on Twitter a lot. See, that's when you want to hear from people directly, you kind of try to hear from them directly. LeBron James said this, and he said he spoke to Kobe that day, and he said a lot of things great about Kobe, but then he said, I just ask you to give me your strength from heaven and help me continue on this journey, something to that effect. But he said, I never knew, this is the important part, I never knew, or never did I know this will be my last time hearing your voice. He was actually speaking to Kobe. So he made it in a tweet and made it public. But what I'm saying is, we never know. Nobody never knew. That's why we was devastated. That's why we was devastated when we lost Nipsey's, the Tupacs, the Biggies, the so forth and so on. Your mother, your father, your brother, my brother, Ken's brother, your brother. We never know when that last time will be. And it was just telling, and I just thought it was was beautiful to see what LeBron said about it. And he said, I never knew this would be my last time talking to Kobe. That morning before or after Kobe went to church and then had a fatal helicopter crash. And man, so you never know. One of my Slick, Ricky, one of his favorite songs he used to play at Quickies all the time is Love Your Family by Boosie Badass. Y'all can play that song, man. Play it tonight. Hug your family, love your family. I'm gonna end with that. I love to plug my own music, but tonight I'm gonna plug that. I'm gonna plug God is good all the time, but I'm gonna plug some Boosie Badass. Hug your family and love your family, because we never know when the last time we will hear their voice. All right, this your boy Krown Deon. And I'm also coming from you from GettoGospel Radio. If you're a local artist, get your music to me.
15, don't give us 10. I got my own mouth to feed and a couple kids. Not at 11 and 12 neither. You fight for 15, you're fighting for the people. No more lucky sevens, we don't need 8. Fighting for 15, we got to get it straight. 15, we ain't found 9. We're tired of working overtime for an extra dime. 15, don't give us 10. I got my own mouth to feed and a couple kids. Not at 11 and 12 neither. You fight for 15, you're fighting for the people. Fight for 15, that's what I believe. We got a right to self-determination, I agree. So say it loud and proud, we ain't turning down. Fair wages for our work, can we want it now? Fight for 15, that's what I believe. We got a right to self-determination, I agree. Say it loud and proud, we ain't turning down. Fair wages for our work, can we want it now?